Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to 48 Now. I'm digital host AJ Wiest, and today I am joined with a special guest, award-winning filmmaker Stephen Rollins. Stephen, he's a Rainsville, Alabama resident. He's currently up in Washington, D.C., where he's being honored and recognized for some of his incredible humanitarian work. Stephen, thank you so much for joining in with me today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. It's my pleasure. But first, Stephen, you're the founder of several important initiatives, including the National Foundation for Military Family Support. Let's begin with that. What inspired you to start such a great cause for military families?
Well, I come from a military family. My dad was Army Ranger, my uncle a Marine. I was never able to serve or fortunate to serve due to health reasons, but I admire those who do, who bravely sacrifice their time and their lives to serve this great country. And coming from a military family, I saw needs early on that other military families, were in dire need of. And I wanted to do my part to give back. It's my way of being able to serve those. And it's just grown over the years.
That's right. And what all does the National Foundation, what do they do for military families here in the United States?
Well, the bulk of our effort has been going to our book of resources that we have, and we try to connect the military vets and the families that are in dire need of certain things, whether it's medical, financial, if they need transportation to get to the VA, all these different things, we connect them with the resources. And if we have the resources, we provide them as well.
That's right, and that's not all you do. You also started the Global Ukraine Initiative. Talk about everything you do with that overseas.
Well, after seeing what happened immediately after the war began, um, I I took it upon myself. I have several military buds; they're vets, retired. They decided when President Zelensky said, please, anybody willing to volunteer, come help. We need all the help we can get. Some of my military buds, they geared up and headed over. And I told them I planned on coming and I started planning some things out. But then when I started seeing images of the very ugly scenes out of Bucha and Irpin, and then I just said, these people need help. I mean, the entire communities were being wiped out. And so I went over, started volunteering service to work through local churches to provide emergency assistance with endangered women and children in some of these hard hit communities and villages along the front line. And from there, started building up more and more. Made contacts, was introduced with people within President Zelensky's office, and took some meetings, talked about their plans for their new, at that time, charity, United 24. They asked for some of my input. So, I gave them based on my experience with, charity organizations. And, just helped out wherever I could on the launching of that. And then later in the year, I believe it was October, the first week of October of 23, we launched the Global Ukraine Initiative. And we started working with those already on the ground and building relationships and getting volunteers and working with other organizations to gather and provide these resources to these communities that were just in shambles.
That's right. And I understand you were unfortunately wounded while helping provide resources to Ukraine. Talk a bit about that experience and your journey to recovery.
Well, we were in a van on our way back out from um, this little community. Well, it's not little, it was a nice little city called Bakhmut. And on our way out, our van was targeted and hit with artillery, van blown apart. And myself, the interpreter, we were fortunate to make it out. The others weren't, unfortunately. And since that time, I've had to have full fusion back spinal repair. I've had to have nerve damage surgery on my left arm, still have to have surgery on the right arm, and had to have my neck fixed because it turns out part of my neck was broken. And then on top of all of that, while they were doing all these scans and tests, they had found little potential cancer spots and was able to have that addressed early on before it became any more of an issue. So it worked out as a blessing in a sense, but I am still dealing with the back and spinal issues.
You are truly a trooper. But why would you say it's so important to continue supporting the Ukraine during this ongoing war?
Well, I know there's a lot of political, points of view, and I understand that. But for me, in this is something that I have spoken with a lot of the military soldiers that the U.S. soldiers that volunteering over there. We feel it is a responsibility and a duty for us to help as much as we can, because the whole situation, a lot of people don't realize Ukraine was the third most powerful nuclear nation on earth. We were asked, well, we were asked to step in the 90s and, to recover the nuclear weapons. That was the only protection that they had to keep off any potential invaders, such as Russia, which Russia wanted Ukraine back under their control. And we stepped in through we entered an agreement called the Budapest Memorandum, which said, hey, you give us your weapons, the United States will be there to protect you should anybody invade. So a lot of people, including myself, when you research and learn more and more, it's you kind of take on that feeling of, if we had to push to get those weapons out of their hands, none of this would have started. And the slaughter that we see, civilian after civilian, over 19,000 children missing, presumed to be kidnapped and in Russia control. You really wouldn't see a lot of these things occurring. That's a belief of a lot of people. That's a belief that I tend to feel as well. And so as an American, as a proud American, you want to stand up and make sure that you're honoring the commitment you made to these people that to get their weapons away. But then also as a Christian, to see what has happened to all the churches. A lot of people don't realize how many churches, have been destroyed, how many pastors have either been killed or are missing. And I take this on as much like a mission, journey. My mission to help serve, witness, and serve, those people that are endangered, in need. And if I can go in, help, bring them supplies that they are needed, or even put myself at risk again behind the front line to get these women and these children out and get them to safety. There's a lot of children from the children's hospital able to get transported out of the danger zones and get them back west to safer areas, so they can get into a safe hospital, for example, and children that are in endangered orphanages, get them to a safer orphanage and safer situation. And I just feel like God's given me that opportunity to serve and help. And I feel like if it wasn't meant to be, then things would have ended for me a lot different near Buckman than what they are. I'm still here today, so I feel like I still got more work to do.
That's right. Very well said. Now I want to talk about tomorrow. It looks like a very busy day for you. You're already busy, as you said earlier. But what all will you be doing while you're up in our nation's capital?
Well, actually, we found out just a short time ago, we're going to kick it off this evening with a private tour at the Capitol. One of the congressmen from Alabama, his wife is going to invite our group up to Capitol Hill, get the tour tonight of the Capitol building. And then tomorrow morning early, we start off at the White House, followed by a presentation ceremony. Then after that, we head to the Pentagon for a private tour and some meetings. And then from the Pentagon, we make our way to Arlington National Cemetery, where I'll be participating in a wreath laying ceremony. And then following that, there's a big group dinner at what happens to be my favorite restaurant chain. And then tomorrow morning, we have several meetings lined up with various senators and congressmen.
That is so awesome. Certainly sounds like a jam-packed next couple of days. And I know it's not your first rodeo up there. I believe it was 2014 when you went up to address Congress. Take me through that experience as well.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize is actually back in 2012, I entered the independent presidential, race, just so I could get some of the word out about the needs military families were facing. And there was a lot of talk, a lot of focus on the wasteful spending at the time, and had some issues that I pointed out that, if this waste money could be addressed, that's money that could go to help our military communities, our veterans and families in need. And so from there, it progressed upwards and onwards, and was asked to come back Capitol Hill, and was able to talk about some of those needs. I talked about health, fitness issues, and how it not only affects the military community, but it helps, and affects just everyday people. Some of the stuff that we eat, that we're throwing in our body, and trying to know what exactly is in the foods that we're putting in our body. And so there was a wide range of items that I spoke about on that visit. And I've made return visits. I have been invited up to decorate the First Lady's Christmas tree at the White House. So I've had that opportunity. And there's been a few opportunities scattered here and about that I've been very honored and very blessed to be able to participate. And, I do greatly appreciate what they're doing, for me tomorrow. But the thing that I'm pointing out to everyone right now is I want them to use me as a vessel so that the attention, if you need to throw the attention through me, fine. Let that attention be about the brave men and women who wear the uniform and serve the country. And not only those, but the family that is back home while their loved one is serving, they are serving and sacrificing in their own way. So these are things that I hope this event brings out.
That is so awesome. Very well said. And I want to talk about your filmmaking career as well. Did you always know you wanted to tell stories through film?
Well, actually, when I was in school, I was enamored with movies, fell in love with Star Wars. That's what made me just completely gaga over, the movie things and big dreams. But I actually had dreams of becoming an Atlanta Braves outfielder. But
Me too.
got hurt. Yeah, I know. But unfortunately, hurt my arm when I was about 18. So those dreams went down the drain. But I had a friend of mine talk me into coming to set with him one day. And way back when, there was an NBC TV series called In the Heat of the Night with Carol O'Connor. I came out to visit my buddy on set and just acting goofy, making everybody laugh at the lunch table. And the one gentleman that was sitting there, I did not know at the time, but turns out he was director of the episode. And he got to laughing and we got to talking. And he's like, I want to throw you on camera. Hold on. And he called over the wardrobe assistant and she come over. He's like, get him in a police uniform. I want to get him on camera, bring him to set as soon as you got him ready. He's like, okay. I'm like, all right, going to be an extra. Yeah. Then go change. And then brought me back to the set. And then he's like, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick up these folders and walk over here and give them to Chief Gillespie, played by Carol O'Connor. And I said, okay. And then he says, I just want you to say, here you go, Chief, here's your reports. And I'm like, oh, I'm speaking? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So that turned into being asked back more and more. So got to hang out a lot and I got to experience a taste of directing for the very first time on set. That same director, he was like, have you ever thought about directing? And I said, well, that's something that would definitely interest me. He goes, okay, I want you to call this scene. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yep. He just stepped up. He yelled out to Carol O'Connor, Howard Rollins, all the cast that was lined up. He's like, all right, Steven's calling this shot. It's in his control. He's directing. And he just turned to me and said, Steven, go for it. So I just had to go by the process that I knew at the time and did it. And I guess I got the directing bug at that moment after we wrapped that scene and just wanted to create from there because there's both elements, the acting side and the producing directing side. They both are creative, but they offer something different. And I enjoy both. So from there, I just decided to pursue, started a production company, tried to write some of the material for projects that I wanted to do for myself, put myself in, so to speak. And it grew from there. But the funny thing is, the one project that I made my writing, producing, and directing debut, I did not work on as an actor. It was a military themed film called American Identity. And it was based off the events of 9/11. And I wanted to tell a story of how the events of that day would affect a military family. And I used it as kind of a tool to try to educate people who don't have common knowledge about what military families go through when their loved one's family member is now called out to unexpected active duty. And the project went very well. Went to the Cannes Film Festival, took honors in a couple of categories with the film. Then we had the U.S. premiere at the Motion Picture Academy in Beverly Hills, and I I was just surprised that the place was packed, standing room only, and a lot of these people that I admired, from John Voight all the way across to all these other major names that admired, respected, and never dreamed in a million years they'd show up to my little film premiere, but they did. The city of Beverly Hills allowed us to bring a tank and park it on the middle of Wilshire Boulevard, shutting down the Wilshire Boulevard in the evening traffic. So,
Wow.
yeah, it still to this day blows my mind. I'm just so blessed and grateful for those opportunities. And trying to there's a few other projects in the works between myself and my producing partner Todd Allen, who worked with me. He played Master Sergeant Wilkins in American Identity. He's currently co-starring with Kevin Costner in Costner's new Horizon 2 film. He and I are talking about, he's got a wonderful military project, a true story that he's working on, and I've got a couple of projects that I have in mind that I'm working to try to bring to life, as well as a nice big biblical movie, that something that I've always wanted to do. Currently in the writing stages to bring that to reality, hopefully in the near future. But it's just, I just have to find time to sleep in between all these things right now.
Right, you are absolutely staying busy. So where all have you lived during your career?
Oh boy. Well, let's see. There's Chicago, New York, 28 years in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Born and raised in Atlanta. That's where I actually started working film wise. And now I'm over in the big city of Rainsville, Alabama.
Yes, sir. What brought you to Rainsville?
Actually, one of my best friends, he he and I have been friends now for, oh man, to say the years out loud, well, 40ish. We'll just go with 40ish. But yeah, we've been friends a long time. He actually pastors a church in Pine Ridge, and it's one of the most wonderful, amazing churches that I've ever experienced. The people there just blew my mind. Just my heart burst with joy and love when I met these people. Pine Ridge Baptist Church, and yeah, I just, he and others said, you should move here, and I couldn't think of a reason why not. And to be a part of the community and a part of that church makes me so happy, so thrilled.
That's right. And it's also such a pretty part of our country. It's definitely a hidden gem, I would say, here in Alabama, the whole Sand Mountain region. Very pretty
cool
out there. All the mountains and all the different rivers and the lakes and everything. So pretty.
The only thing I really have to get used to is all the storms. I've never heard
Yes.
so many tornado sirens as I have since I moved there. I'm like,
That is true. It's like a tornado magnet out there during tornado season. I don't know what's up. Um,
wow.
well, Stephen, where can people find your work and all the different films you've worked on?
Well, a lot of different stuff. You can search, like I've thrown some of my older stuff onto YouTube, like American Identity. And there is a film that I did a few years ago that went to also benefit military families that I connected our foundation with the production. It's a comedy called Hockey Love Superstitious Antics. We have that up on YouTube that you could pull. It aired on television. I think it was about 12 different countries. And it just, those are two things that I'm very proud of. And the rest, it's just going through a lot of old classic TV shows.
Yes, sir. And then finally, what do you hope people take away from your work, whether it's your filmmaking or your several humanitarian initiatives?
Well, as far as filmmaking, I just hope that people take away a smile. All I want, I don't want the fame, I don't want the fortune. I want the joy of the people watching. I want them to take something from what I've done. And if I can touch people in a way that brings them some type of joy from something that I've done, then I've achieved everything. That means more than money, the fame. If I can bring something good into someone's life, that's what it's about. With the military work, with my work in Ukraine, if I can bring some assistance that can change something in people's lives that's a negative that they're facing to a positive that will make their life better, then I can't ask for any more reward for myself than knowing I'm able to help someone for the better.
That's so true. Yes, sir. Well, I know you got places to be, you got cool places to see up there, but if there's anything that maybe I didn't ask you'd like to add, feel free. But thank you so much for joining in with me today.
Well, I greatly appreciate the time, and I've enjoyed speaking with you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Thank you.